Sure. We might as well. We're here. We're in a good place. Gotta love it. ATBshow.com. If you head to that domain, it's going to pull you over to YouTube. We appreciate you watching. We love when you comment. People are now, he's almost like it's / share and a little share and maybe some Brittany now that she's been unlocked from the basement. People are actually telling us online what they want us. What is Rubber Shoes wearing? Who wore it worst?
Wore it worse?
And I love that you, like I just said to him, I said, we're just gonna get it started because he's wearing content that I do want to talk about that I'm not going to second guess now that it seems to have worked. Yeah. So anyway, welcome in. My name's Timmy. Rubber Shoes is here. Little Shoes is here. Adam's here from beautiful downtown Connecticut.
Yeah.
We're going to get right into it. The soup of the day, which is amaze balls, and the shirt that you're wearing, Rubber Shoes. I thought for sure the happy accident of us actually having the marathon in October and us playing baseball
right
away from the ballpark, doesn't it make sense we should probably wear our City Connect shirts from Nike?
Yes.
And they elected out of that because they were doing well in the Reds.
Right.
And you know what? I'm going to stop asking questions. I'm going to stop complaining. I'm thrilled to be wrong. Welcome to Nostradumbass.com. I was wrong again because I said we should be getting our hearts broken in Game 5 back down at the St. Pete piece of sheet like that. If you just watch, never mind the architectural challenges. Then the absolute 180 on fan base. And I say this all the time. So before I get into this, I always say, and I know you guys take umbrage with this, we have the worst fan base in every sport on the planet.
We do?
And I'll back it. I'll back it up.
How about Philly? Philly doesn't beat us?
We don't throw batteries at people.
Yeah.
It's Cowboys fans in general.
You're making my point. They're very advantageous.
We don't throw snowballs at Santa Claus.
Well, let's be careful.
Batteries at Santa Claus too, didn't they?
Yeah.
It was everything.
We do throw snow when the Patriots are playing in the snow. We do throw snow.
Well, just to see other fans.
Just to get into the ballpark thing real quick.
Yeah.
We joked about the C ring, and it happened on opening night.
Yeah.
Like, did we not craft that script? Like, are you kidding me?
Yep.
And then, and just all of it, the whole presence, the what is it? The Tropicana Dome? I don't know what they call it this week.
Who knows?
Yeah.
It's it's funny too because
Field still is it
Tropicana
Field?
Field?
I believe so. I believe.
Yeah.
Is it really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Tropicana Field.
Painful.
Is it a field? I don't.
I don't know. It's
Field.
made out of plastic.
Looks like a carpet. Looks like
Aren't
a
they
carpet.
talking of? Aren't they still considering doing dual host cities? Right.
For what?
Tell me less about this, but I'm here for it. Go.
I heard something like half home games Tropicana, and they might extend to like Vancouver or something.
What?
That yes.
Vancouver. That's like on the other side of the
idea I've
radically
It's a
illogical.
terrible idea.
I love it.
Oh my god,
I love it.
I'll
I
double
could see
check to
them
make sure it's
doing-
Tampa.
Maybe it's Montreal. At least it's in the same time.
Yeah,
Why are
I
they
feel
gonna
like
do
they were
that?
talking about something straight up the coast.
Yeah, Vancouver's like on the other side of the world.
Yeah.
Why are they doing this though?
It is Montreal. They consider.
Okay.
Why are they
as a
doing this? I
split
don't
season.
understand.
They've been talking about that for a
Yeah.
few years now.
I don't get it though. But is there a reason?
Well,
Yeah,
there's-
because
they
They like
Tampa's up.
money. They like money.
Expos left, and they do want a team up there.
So bring the Expos back.
Right.
I said
Right. Thank you.
Move Tampa Bay back up to Montreal and make them the Expos again. Get rid of Tampa Bay. So this is one of my pet peeves. If you can't sell out a building during the playoffs, you are not allowed to make the playoffs the next year.
Yes, I love that rule. Let's
Atlanta's
amen to that
online.
rule.
Atlanta's online too.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I like
was
that rule,
watching
though.
the Braves game last night. They weren't sold out.
Yep.
Watching all the games in Tampa, they weren't sold out any games. Ridiculous.
And you compare to Boston, just electric crowd energy, the loudest they've.
Yeah.
I mean, even the player said it was louder than 2018 World Series. Like,
Yeah,
amazing stuff.
What's happening is it seems like there's a younger crowd being able to go to these playoff games because
it's a lot of college groups. And
older
stuff like
people
that.
are afraid to go because of COVID, and the tickets are actually reasonable for playoff games. My brother and his girlfriend went Monday.
I wish I went.
It was $125 for a playoff game. That is
not bad.
That's like a Bruins
you pay
regular
that to
season
go
game.
to a Yankees game during the regular season.
Yeah,
Right.
Remarkably reasonable. And just and I know it's been a while since we've been in a playoff atmosphere. It's been a while since we've had a reason like that to be that excited in the month of October. That was louder than it's been in a very long time.
Yeah.
And it was embarrassing if you held it alongside the garage of a soccer stadium they have down in Tampa that wasn't full, that has they got 100 wins, they're the best team in the AL East. Doesn't look like it. And they are super good, and things fell our way.
Percentage of Red Sox fans there too.
Yeah, you know when they do typically sell out when Bonnie,
they play the Red Sox or the Yankees.
The kid that used to live in Cohasset, now he's retired down there, and he got some tickets on the cheap because you can sit on the field, which is also a cop-it, right? Yeah, for less money than it is to get parking in Boston.
But listen, I don't want to defend Tampa Bay because I do not want to be in the business of defending Florida. But let me just say this one time, okay? They didn't sell out the playoffs. And could it have something to do with the fact that if you even remotely breathe the air in Florida, you are more likely to die than not to die because of COVID? I mean, let's be real.
No.
You think they're not sold out because they're afraid of COVID and they're staying home?
I think that could be a potential reason.
I think that's potentially not a reason.
Well, let's check the attendance a couple years ago.
Well,
all right. Well, yeah, check it out.
Yeah, it's.
I'm just saying.
Compare it year over year. Compare and we don't have our abacus out, but we can absolutely get the data. So we can find out what the vaccination rate is down there.
Last night was opening night in Tampa Bay. And that was sold out for the
Lightning. Yeah.
So part of the problem, people. So I listened to some of the Red Sox reporters that go on the road with them.
Sure.
And they said that the stadium for Tampa Bay Rays, it's not in Tampa Bay. First of all, it's in St. Pete, and I guess it's a horror show trying to get to.
It's just like
you have to go. There's only one way in and one way out of St. Pete. You have to go over a bridge to get there, and it just they said the traffic is horrible trying to get there. So that could be a big reason is that it's a pain in the ass to get to.
It just looks crappy.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers opening night, they sold out. Opening night, Tampa Bay Lightning, they sold out. So I don't think it's a matter of that they're afraid of COVID.
Well, to Little Shoe's point, can you imagine sitting in traffic to get to the truck?
Like legit.
Like you get out, you're all excited, like, well, it's gonna be so much better when we get inside.
The TV presentation,
socks in there, you know?
It looks like inside like one of those like big places they got where you have like kids' birthday parties. They have like the tent outside where they play like soccer and stuff. It's just like shady, sad, just like there's some grass and it's just like
the owner has a contract with the stadium through 2023. So they're at least there for another 2 years.
Until they move to Montreal.
Yeah. And I would love to see them if that is the play that they're gonna go up there and see if the fan base is for real up there, and then suddenly just flip the switch and be the Montreal Expos again. That'd be
doing half and a half. Like,
no, that's stupid, and that's where we are with sports now.
No team is gonna want to have to deal with that.
Well, it's good that they're playing golf now. So let's talk about the Red Sox.
I don't think baseball works in Florida because it's played during the summertime when it's 95 degrees, 110% humidity, even if you're going inside.
Yep.
And the reason why they thought it would work because, you got a lot of people that migrate down there. Yeah, during the wintertime, during the summer, they come back up here. So all the fans that they would get, going to the Red Sox and the Yankees and all that,
right?
You get a better crowd those games, but half the people move back up to New York and Massachusetts and New England for the summertime.
And it doesn't help them that they have 10,000 other sports teams that play in Florida that have nicer places that they play in.
Because even the Miami Marlins, even when they've won championships and stuff, they've had trouble getting people there. I just don't think baseball works down there.
I think was it Bobby Dugan that wanted to saw off Maine? I think we should also saw off Florida. Let's just get away with it. Let's just get away, make it the country a little bit more symmetrical. Get Maine away, get Florida away.
Wow, viewers across in Florida, we're sorry. None of you.
None of you.
All none of you. That's right. Nobody cares.
Little Shoes, they'd be watching, but they're out getting their shot.
Another thing, on speaking of Florida fan base, I'm sick of seeing people complain about the whole freaking stupid rule of the thing bouncing off and going over the wall, saying they should have won.
Well, 9 things. As soon as it happened, I'm like, oh my God, here comes our tuck rule. And
yep, that's exactly what it was.
No, it wasn't though, because it's a rule that's in the book.
Well, so
it was a misinterpretation. Like the tuck rule for Brady was a misinterpretation of the rule.
No, it wasn't.
That was the written rule. I've watched a documentary about
it. They changed it since
they got rid of
the rule. Yeah, they changed the rule.
Took it out. Yeah.
So like one of the commentators said,
back up real quick. It was a written rule. Rubber shoes. It was a written rule.
Yeah.
Do you really think that he was tucking it though?
Mm-mm.
Thank you.
No,
thank you. That was my point. Go ahead. That was my point.
It was the way the rule was written. If your arm is coming down, then
sure. I mean, I'm happy about it, but anyway. So that they have their C ring, and we have a rule that was in the book.
Yeah.
But we would have won anyways. And 2, the fact that you have to cling on to something like that for a team that absolutely blew the doors off of us in game 1 and should have easily taken us out. Most wins in franchise history, and that's like their thing to hold on.
When you know things are bouncing our way when the first baseman, I think in game 4, Choi takes a ball off the chest. Just little things like that. When those start to go our way, that's when you're like, okay,
because then there was the bounce into the dugout.
Yep.
The only thing that didn't go our way was the freaking Verdugo at third base.
Third plate. There's a third plate.
Oh,
they really did change the rules.
They only play with a third plate in Tampa.
I won't complain about it since we won. But I mean, he was.
We want the third plate of food.
Yeah, he was with their burgers and tots, please.
He was safe. He was safe.
Burgers and tots.
So now we know it is Houston. We know it starts on Friday, right? Yeah. So we go Friday, Saturday, break on Sunday, and then we go Monday, Wednesday, Friday. What, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I'm sorry. Back to back to back. I apologize. Yeah. And then another break, possibly.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
So if there isn't a sweep, we have a show on game 5 night.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we'll reverse engineer that a little bit. Maybe. So we can talk about the things. I think we should should throwing that out there. Next week might be Thursday because of baseball. We don't know.
If we are having a show on a game night, I think we should put a poll up that's to see what shirt Rubber Shoes should wear for that particular game.
Yeah.
Yes. No?
This shirt is 2-0 in the playoffs. Oh, 3-0, my bad. Yankees game
3-0.
And game 2 and 3 of the Tampa series, because game 1 and 4 I was at the fire station.
And since the playoffs started, he also hasn't washed it. And I talked to Mother Shoes. It's also B&O.
on a topic of shirts, we're not going to steer away into football, but I was wearing just a plain black t-shirt when we played the Patriots. I almost had to, if we won that, I would have to wear that every single week.
We can steer away to football if you want. I think we
No, I actually wanted to talk about baseball.
No, Rubber Shoes. We're gonna so predictions, because next time we meet, we might be.
Can we review our predictions from the last time? Because I know I was horrifyingly bad.
I was way off.
Rubber Shoes was the only one that picked it, right?
I wasn't there, so
Rubber Shoes called it in 4 for the Sox.
Yeah, that was a good prediction, Rubber Shoes.
I'm gonna let him go first so he can call it.
And Scotty agreed with me and said we get our hearts broken in 5.
And I didn't think we'd get there. So, all right, Rubber Shoes, what do you think against Houston?
I'm gonna say Sox in 6.
I like that.
Oh, all right.
All right.
I'm gonna go a little mini, talk about the Red Sox and a breakdown, but it should be interesting. Astros are very good. I don't feel as good as I did going against Tampa, and there was obviously some mistakes, like us, blowing leads, and I mean we still held on and won. And the Hunter Renfroe, wow, I can't talk, where he threw to home for absolutely no reason. That could have totally been a decision that would have lost us the game. So, but I actually agree. I think it's going to be Sox in 6. I feel the same way about that.
Right.
So,
Sox in 6. I guess I'll go next. I'm going to say I can't pick against them again. Well, you know what? I should keep the streak going because I've been picking against them and they've been winning.
I like it.
All right. So let me pick against them. I'm going to say Houston in 5.
All right, and I'm gonna status quo. Keep the juju going. Heart's broken in 7.
Yeah.
And it's going to feel like 9 because there'll be about 4 games that'll go 13 innings.
Yep. Oh,
all day.
God.
All day. Because you got Dusty Baker, the wise old sage, trying to outthink Cora. It's going to be a shit show.
I don't. So Houston doesn't play the analytics as much. Well, nobody does it as much as Tampa Bay.
You're making my point. He's going to try to for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Dusty Baker's like, I'm going to get wicked smart, and it's going to be awful.
Yeah.
And Cora just kind of, has us play. They don't have a, big...
they use analytics to a point, but it's not like he still will use his gut.
But he doesn't have like a big game
in his
plan.
eyes. You're watching someone and you're like, okay, he doesn't have it. We're yanking him right now. Or if someone is doing well. So with on Tampa Bay game 4, their starter was breezing through 2 innings, and their analytics said he can't face the top of the order for a 3rd time, or actually it was a 2nd time. Couldn't face Schwarber a 2nd time. He was coming up 3rd in the 3rd inning, so they pulled him and put McClanahan in, and that's when they scored the 5 runs.
Yeah, that was a weird. I mean, he was successful his first time seeing us.
Right.
As soon as he did that, I'm like, oh, I feel like this is going to go really well for us. Which it was so much fun to watch them be who they were before the break. Let me ask you this. Everybody gets their picks in. We will talk to Scotty Dukes at some point and get his numbers. So we'll at least have them on the record before the series starts. Who do you feel is going to be when the series is over? Who do you think will have the biggest effect on the series? And I've got a very outside the box
of this series.
Yeah. That's an interesting question.
Yeah.
I want Little Shoes to go first on this one.
I'm gonna go way outside the box.
I want to
for it, but
part of me wants to say Kike again just because it's been awesome. And I'd love to see more of that magic.
Sure.
Oh yeah, Kike still just.
Yeah,
doing
now
great.
that my father's passed away, Cheryl is on Tinder and she's looking for Kike's account. She's a big fan. She
Oh my God.
she noticed that he was champagning with no shirt on. And she's like,
Oh, okay.
Kike, do you love me? Yeah.
Yeah, screw it. Yeah, Kike again.
That's a good
Okay.
choice. That's a good
Yeah.
choice.
Yep. Rubber shoes.
I'm gonna say Alex Verdugo.
Okay.
All right.
Because he started doing good the last couple games. I think he's gonna roll it into the Astros series.
Like it.
All right. I'm gonna go with Kike too. I think he steps up again. So I'm gonna go in the same direction as Little Shoes. Unfortunately.
I'm going to think of a person, but I did not have a person in mind, and this is going to annoy you, and I think it's going to be a very real thing, just because.
Okay.
COVID is going to have
on
the series.
Oh, interesting.
You watch that pop up. You watch it manipulate lineups.
Oh.
Watch. I'm telling you right now.
Well, I'm glad Tim said this, so it won't happen.
That
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I just made it not happen. Yeah.
That's right. You miraculously made it not happen.
Probably half the Red Sox team has already had it.
Right.
So
yeah, they had that big outbreak in the middle of the season.
So that must mean you want to change your prediction, because it's obviously going to be the Astros that all get COVID. So you might want to switch your pick there.
Well, so no, you've never heard of a breakthrough case?
Let's not turn this
After
into
2
this.
weeks after they just had it.
Okay.
Can I ask though, Tim? No, in all honesty, in a serious question, do you think in the ALCS that these teams who both, not for nothing, have been accused of cheating in the past and found guilty of cheating in the past, you think that they would not hide an asymptomatic player? I mean, if somebody goes down and they're sick and they can't play, fine. But if they test positive, you don't think they'll put?
I don't think it's incumbent upon Dusty Baker and Alex Cora to report that
out
to
of the
MLB.
team's hands.
I started thinking about like Cora, like
independent doctor that does those.
Oh, it's independent. Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay, all right.
when you started saying that, I thought you were gonna go in the direction of like Cora sneaking a bag of just COVID outbreak into the locker room of the Houston Astros.
Now that could happen.
I could get behind that.
What is happening? Come
Yeah,
on.
I'll shove a Swiffer up my nose for him if he needs some. I probably got
for God's
something up
sakes.
there. Yeah,
Ultimate master. That'd be
unbelievable.
Oh.
So now outside of that,
Shit.
and I do think it's going to be a subplot. I don't think it's going to destroy the series. I think it's going to make it's going to be problematic for both teams. Just throwing that out there.
Okay.
I couldn't believe that we got through this series with none of that happening.
Well, there really hasn't been much of it in the playoffs, has there?
You're welcome. Here it comes.
Thanks,
the
Yankees are gone, so we don't have to worry about it.
Oh. And my guess for the player that's going to have the biggest impact, I want to say it's going to be Rafi because I love him so much, but something's off. I think you can see that something's off. He's drawing the ball, but something's off. I'm going to go with Zambo, the lovely number 2. I'm going to say Zambo is a player in this series.
All right.
I think he's been super
That's the jersey
quiet.
I have on, by the way.
You got number 2 on. I like that. He's
nice.
super quiet right now, and I think he's just due.
Yeah, he is. He's like quietly, he gets that one. He's 1 for 4, but that one hit is usually meaningful.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's not.
Well, maybe he gets it.
Yeah. Time to turn it around.
Now,
sure.
Another thing, a big win last week, as you all know, the Chicago Sky moving on to the WNBA Finals. I know a lot of people are really excited about that one. And
why are you buzzing? What is happening, Little Shoes? You're taking over the show? That's my
he's
thing.
got a shirt.
Let's see the Candace Parker shirt. Let's see it.
It's still on the way.
I love these pulling
Sorry.
off names.
Come on,
the
let's see
Candace
it.
Parker shirt.
You got a Vandersloot shirt?
Any
You have a
thoughts? Any
Vandersloot
thoughts?
shirt? Let me see your Vandersloot shirt. Let me see it. Where is it?
I just want to
There's
know.
got to be a
thoughts,
Funko
Saul.
Pop somewhere. Nobody
Oh,
has a
they don't make
Funko
those.
Pop?
They don't make those yet. I'm sorry.
It's Little Shoes. I don't give you a hard time on the show too often. It's mostly your dad who I give a hard time to. Tonight's the night.
Yeah.
Because you have to rub salt in the wound of me, who are my beloved Connecticut son, who had the best record in the WNBA.
Yep.
Got absolutely dismantled by the Chicago
Where's their
Sky.
headquarters? Is it near the hotel that I stay at when I don't visit?
No. It's at the old the Man Weekend spot.
Yes.
Did we do Mohegan?
Mohegan,
right?
We
Mohegan.
absolutely did.
Next year next season we're gonna do a road trip for a WNBA.
Speaking
game.
of Ziplocs full of COVID.
Oh, we can.
But thank you for bringing it up, though, Little Shoes. I appreciate it.
All right.
Yeah, the Connecticut Sun deserve a lot of credit for a good season, but they didn't make it all the way. And anybody that's not watching Diana Taurasi play, you're crazy. All right.
I am indeed crazy.
Off my soapbox.
So I did think it was really funny that last week Ava Duquette predicted the Texans, and she was almost right. That was pretty brilliant that she pulled that out. Thank God we pulled that one out, right? And
that was almost the most sad day ever.
Yeah. Well,
we let a quarterback that got a total of 100 yards against the Bills just light us up for half.
I'm telling you, I feel like I see it differently than what it is, because they said before the game started, Belichick is 21-6 against freshman quarterbacks.
Right.
I've always felt, I guarantee I've said it to Adam and Rubber Shoes while sitting in our old season tickets at Gillette. Anytime we had a freshman quarterback, I'd be like, you're going to make this kid look like a genius. We
100%.
Historically make young quarterbacks look like geniuses, and it happened again, yet we won. So maybe that's what I'm forgetting, is we do let them look like they look hyper talented, and I'm not saying that they're not. Yet we still pull out the win. Because 21-6 and getting smoked on the road to 21-6, I guess are mutually exclusive, or could be.
So let me put this out there. So Belichick is no question a great coach, right? One of the best all time, if not the best all time. He is a master of game planning, right? When you have a rookie quarterback who you can't really game plan against, right? So all of a sudden the rookie quarterback generally has a very good first half against us. Almost always. I think, Tim, you're right on. Almost always we let a rookie quarterback look amazing in the first half. In the second half, he figures it out a little bit, not perfectly, but he figures it out a little bit. And all of a sudden we're able to shut him down a little bit more. So to me, that's the issue more than anything. I mean, we played great in the second half, I thought. I would say good, passable.
Good enough to win.
Good enough to win.
We also know this, and Rubber Shoes, as the former star quarterback at Polk High, this, they're not. So Davis Mills comes in. They're not installing a new offense for him.
No.
There's
I know
microfiche we could have looked at that says, okay, this is what they typically run. If we set this up, this is happening. So I absolutely hear what you're saying. And at the same time, he didn't reinvent the game.
True.
So it's breathtaking that we got to the point where it was 22-22. I thought to myself, if this game goes through overtime and ends in a 22-22 tie, my favorite number, I'm going to lose my mind. Really? So
what would happen? So I forget the rule, the overtime rule. It's they do a 5-minute overtime, and then if
10
nobody wins,
minutes.
it's a tie.
10 minutes.
10 minutes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you score a
10 minutes,
touchdown
it's a tie.
first, it's over.
Has that ever happened? 22-22? I don't
Yeah,
think
there
it
was a
has.
tie a couple years ago. It was I believe it was Jameis with Tampa Bay way back.
And it was
They tied,
22-22.
and he was like, "We don't tie," and he's like, "Oh no, you tied. It's over." He was like, "Wait," he thought overtime was gonna go to like.
Oh
number
no, I
30.
remember that. But was
Yeah.
the score 22-22?
No.
I was gonna
No.
say I don't think that's ever happened as
Yeah.
far as I can remember.
Well,
Oh my
so
God.
The thing that Belichick does, he takes away your best weapon.
Right.
Mhm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They shut down Brandon Cooks.
Yeah.
He had 3 catches for 23 yards in the game.
I love that you brought that up. Go ahead, Little Shoes.
Well, what made this even worse too is because I was at work for like the first half, and I was just looking at the live updates on Google, just like ripping my hair out, seeing Damien Harris fumble. I'm like, God's sake! But what would have been awful? Well, it still does hurt. Is like we just traded Gilmore for a piece of paper, and it was like, oh well, we still got good defense. We got J.C. Jackson, and J.C. Jackson decided to have like the worst game of his career.
The worst game.
Like,
yeah, it was awful.
and didn't he like punch someone and get a penalty too, like near the end too?
Yeah,
After getting burned all night.
Your dad just set up the spike, and you just spiked it. That's exactly where I was going with that. Like, of all weeks for us to decide to look like 4-year-olds on defense.
Yeah.
Like, and I didn't check I didn't check the newspaper. I didn't look at the stats. I don't know how our dear friend Gilly did in Carolina.
He's not eligible to play yet.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Wasn't ready yet. Oh, okay, coming off the IR next
Yeah,
week.
he's still out. Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Which Carolina don't look very good either. So
Yeah, I thought to myself, of all weeks for us to look horrible, and to your point, Little Shoes, J.C. Jackson looked like he just read a book about football and said, "I'll give it a shot."
hey, maybe
Yeah.
maybe it'd be a good idea for the Panthers to put Gilmore as a receiver, since Gilmore seems to always be Darnold's favorite target.
Can we go back to Damien Harris though for a second? I mean,
Oh,
any other running back who has fumbled in 2 really key moments in a game would not be on the roster anymore in
thing is,
previous
too,
years. What
if
is
you-
happening?
if
I
you
can't
take
believe the guy
away-
is still playing.
it's
He-
weird because like
He got benched the first time that he fumbled.
Yeah.
Didn't play the
Yeah.
rest of the game, and then this game he got
he did for a
benched
little bit,
for-
and then
until the 4th quarter.
what sucks is if you take away those 2 fumbles, like those don't happen, we would be talking about how great of a season he's been having.
Well, if
You
you
know,
take
he's
away
been
those
doing
2
good, but-
fumbles, we
The
have
team
another
would-
win on the board, and we'd be actually looking halfway decent as a team as opposed
Correct.
to mediocre. So I
Well,
just
this-
can't believe
this
Belichick.
is the
This
whole
just shows he has no
reason-
depth at
No,
running
but
back.
this is the real reason why the balls were deflated. It had nothing to do with Brady. Belichick was doing it because he didn't want the guys to fumble.
It's a
Hang
fumble.
on,
So
slow
there's
down and
Honda.
repeat that so I can write that down.
No, Belichick deflated the balls, but he couldn't get in trouble again because he would have been probably
What was the my
suspended
cousin
for
Vinny
a couple of years.
the my cousin Vinny character that he quoted during the Deflategate thing?
Oh,
Donatella or something.
yeah, the girlfriend.
Yeah. I know some Donatella.
Mia
Is
Savino or
I
something
can't
like
think of
that.
it. Yeah.
no, I think the only running back on our team that hasn't fumbled this year is Brandon Bolton.
Brandon Bolden, and he's like 100 years old. What is going
Yeah.
on?
He's for some reason.
he'll get benched if he fumbles.
Yeah.
No, because it's been beaten into his head.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted
He's
to
seen Lawrence Maroney come and go.
One other small thing I want to talk about that I'm happy with us doing, because even week 1, this is a little bit biased, but week 1 while I was there, I kept getting I just blanked the name. Who's our tight end that kept dropping the damn ball? 81 there.
Jonnu
Smith.
Yeah.
We started targeting Hunter Henry, and he had 2 touchdowns on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, I didn't understand why Johnny was getting a lot, especially after the first week of drops. Henry's been there a lot longer. He's been really reliable, and I think he's proven that, he's been a much better target. He has 3 or 4 touchdowns on the year now, and he hasn't had 87 drops that could have won us the game. So
Did he just jinx him?
Oh yeah. Well, I got his jersey. He's already screwed, but
he bought his jersey and he was hurt for 2 weeks. So
this is the real question: which one of them is going to be brought up on charges by the end of the month?
Oh my God!
Tell you what, though, Jono Smith,
our tight ends.
Jono Smith had a
Look out!
Sunday. He caught it literally with his 2 pinkies. He kept it off the ground.
Yeah.
How could I not forget? Speaking of drops, Jacoby Myers. What the hell?
Oh, that was
tough week. There
He
were
had
a
a
lot
tough
of
week.
missed
That's something
opportunities.
Aguilar's supposed to do.
A lot of missed opportunities for sure.
But hey, we won. So I mean, now we got the Cowboys.
But N'Keal Harry is still on the team, so we've got that going for us.
Yeah, he made a catch.
all right. So back to baseball.
Oh, we're going back.
Oh,
to
what?
baseball.
Just
No,
kidding.
we're already
I
off
was
of
gonna
baseball,
no.
man.
We got it. We're gonna crack the egg and drop it on the hot
I'm
skillet.
gonna bring it up every
John
time
Gruden.
I hear N'Keal Harry's name.
No, I
We
wanna
picked
talk
him
about
over
Gruden.
DK
Let's talk
Metcalf.
John Gruden.
I want to talk about John
Oh.
Gruden because I think
Yes.
the next shoe to drop. And if you're not paying attention,
Do we
we'll
want to do
bring it-
predictions first, or
I think the whole email. Well, sure. What predictions for this Sunday?
yeah, Cowboys, Patriots, just so we can leave that and then go right into this?
Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for helping us skate back to the puck. So what time are we 4:30? I don't even know what time the game.
425
425.
4:25 on Sunday. That's
national game. Yep.
we are going to be in Maryland. Bubba's got a showcase in Maryland, and his last game will be back in the car by then. Heading. To the
Are you
hotel.
stopping off in Connecticut on Thursday night or
It is
Friday
in
night?
Maryland. I would.
Yeah, it's
I would
down 95, right?
If you want to meet for a drink, you can meet me at the corner of fucking off, and then you can make your prediction. Yeah. If you want to keep throwing salt in the wound, it's fine.
Let's
Let's do
He
it. Let's
takes
do it.
the mask
Okay, I'll let
pipe.
it go. I'll let it go.
No, you
Takes
won't.
the mask
no,
pipe
And I will
all the
never
way-
give out 74. Go ahead.
Takes the Mass Pike all the way to the New York Thruway and then takes
Yes!
the left. He
Got
doesn't
it.
go through Connecticut anymore.
No Connecticut anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. I'll do my prediction first. I think I hate to be always saying we're going to lose, but hopefully it has good omen for us if I say we're going to lose. So I'm going to say we're going to lose 31-21.
All right.
Cowboys win.
I trust
Cowboys
that
are
she's already
gonna
looked this
win.
up.
Cowboys will win 42-17.
Whoa. Wow. 40. That was my pick when the
gotta
Bucks played the
think.
Patriots.
I gotta think here.
The-
I'll let Tim go.
Dak Prescott is for real.
Yeah. Oh,
I,
yeah.
I,
No doubt.
I bashed him for seasons, but this year he's really shown me something, especially coming off the injury.
My
Yeah, I
dad cut off
apologize,
Timmy,
little
you can
shoes.
go.
I was actually trying to track down what the odds makers have it at. What's the over under and all that
I
stuff.
think it's only 5. I think the Cowboys
Like, I don't know why. The complete idiot for doing this, but I am hopeful and like somehow I've heard that we have a decent matchup against them, even though they're really good. I'm not going to predict us to win because I want to use reverse jinx. Unlike what I did with the Red Sox, so they're going to lose. But Cowboys offense is legit. If our defense plays like we did in the first half against Texans, it's not going to look good. Probably at the half, they'll have like 30.
Whoa.
I'll say give us 24 and the Cowboys. Man, 24-41.
Okay.
Tim, Cowboys are supposed to win by 5. Is that what they're giving us 5?
Yeah.
Vegas is always so frighteningly accurate.
Yeah.
So, and I have too many people that I'm close with, and I can't listen to them. Our dear friend Johnny Apostolos from Chelmsford, my good friend Clint, who lives out in Colorado now. A lot of closet. One of the girls in the office.
Cowboys fans, you mean?
Oh yeah, just shut up. So
a real America's team.
Okay, and the country's waiting.
Yeah, you haven't been for 30 years, but okay.
Yeah, Roger Staubach's not walking through that door. He's wheelchair bound now. So, but anyway, so I, in the interest of me truly wanting to beat them, I'm going to say that we beat them. I also know that I'm trying to curate this 8 and 9 that I predicted.
Yeah.
So, but
trying
I
to pull
think
that across the finish line.
I've got some room for some artistic license with the way we're going. So I'm going to go
3.5.
Is it 3.5 now?
Oh, 3.5 now. Okay.
All right. I think we're We're going to have to hustle to get there. So I'm going to go 34-31. And I have no idea what the over-under is.
34-31.
51.
All right.
And you think that's a Patriots victory or a Cowboys?
34-31 Patriots, because I have to say that because I hate Dallas so much.
Yeah.
I hate Dallas so much. Like
I hate picking for the Cowboys, but I just don't see us winning.
I love a throwback uniform. I hate when they're modern day and they're like, no, these are our new ones. No, those look like last week's.
Right.
Like your mom, like they just always look sort of faded. Like, is that Leon Letts? That looked like what he wore against Miami when he ran and then dropped at the end.
Kind of like the Celtics.
Yeah, they just look awful.
I complain about the Celtics like city jerseys every year.
They've got the worst regular uniforms.
Yeah.
And then when they try to flex and go to like the navy blue with the just
it all looks the same.
They're cat ass trophies, right? They just catastrophe uniforms. I hate their stuff. Conversely, the best uniform, and I do love that we've gone to what we've gone to with the Patriots. I love the Bills. I love the Bills.
Bills are nice.
Bills have a great classic kick-ass uniform. Love the Bills. Yeah, the Cowboys, I'm rooting against them. Their uniform, that monstrosity of a gorgeous facility, but I still I hate all of it.
Yes,
I hate
it's
Jerry
beautiful.
Jones, all of it. All of it.
The Bills are unstoppable right now, too, by the way. Not that we're going to talk about the Bills.
They're the best team in the league for sure.
It's a pleasure. I love that. Yes, I love that the Kansas City Chickens are trying to find their identity. They're looking for their soul. They need to get right game. I hope they never get their get right game.
Buffalo
no kidding.
Tampa's going to be good. I wonder where that game is.
Oh, that is going to be a good game. Yeah.
I hope after what we saw with Chargers Browns, how great of a game that was. Hopefully we see one of those two against the Bills in the AFC. That'd be a great game.
Yeah.
Chiefs suck, by the way. Just wanted to bring it up.
Yeah.
And while he's looking that up, I wanted to bring up another sport before we get into Gruden. Little golf talk. J.R. Smith, I don't know if you saw any of this, made his
pulls up to
debut.
his first collegiate match in a Bentley, which was amazing.
But then he got attacked by Yellow Jackets.
I didn't even see that.
Yeah, he got attacked by Yellow Jackets halfway through the game, and I think he had to like leave and go to the hospital.
The match, come on,
that's amazing.
The most J.R. Smith thing to happen.
I saw him in the tee box, and the other kids waiting for him to tee off behind him are like up to his belt buckle. Enormous.
He's taking the putt, and then all of a sudden you see him go like, and just running away.
And he ran back to the safety of his Bentley and went home to his house, which nobody else on the golf team did. He'll be fine. Yeah, I think it's really funny that he's doing that.
Yeah,
J.R. Smith. I'll have to look it up.
Smith. Good stuff.
Have to look it up.
Very good stuff. Rolled into his first match in a Bentley.
Nice.
Yep, must be nice. How are classes going? What? How are classes going?
Yeah.
She's doing great. Unbelievable.
All right,
talk to me about Gruden. I guess, and you could say that Me Too and our civic awareness and all these things have there's been a brighter light on these conversations in just the last handful of years. They're talking about emails that have been getting moved around for 7 to, I don't know, roughly around
708. I think.
Yeah. He was still at ESPN.
Yeah. Super long time. Right.
Yeah.
And I guess at what point as a professional in that position, do you not think it's great? And my guesstimate on the next shoe to drop is going to be Snyder. Now that the ownership of Washington is done now.
Oh yeah.
Which I found really interesting as well. Like Cleveland clearly just expedited the conversation. They decided they're not going to be the Indians. We're going to be the Guardians. Horrible. And at least they did it.
Right.
The fact that I feel like we're in season 3 of the Washington football team.
It's at least, I think it is the season 3. Yeah.
Annoys the bag out of me.
I know.
And it's like, well, it's sort of like when you're selling a house and you're like, well, we're going to give them a budget for the flooring. We're not going to pretend we know what they want upstairs, shag carpet or hardwood, right? Like we don't know if she wears heels or he wouldn't, Yeah. So I appreciate that they're leaving that placeholder of that ridiculous name, the Washington football team. And now there's a piece of me that somebody knew that this was all going to happen.
Yeah.
And he's going to be gone in 2 weeks.
Daniel
Snyder's gone because now they're looking for more information and they're going after Snyder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't disagree with you, Tim. I think that's true. I personally, I think this whole thing though is like, it's a little bit weird. It's like the like the grandma clutching her pearls. Like, did anybody not think this stuff was happening? It's still probably happening. I mean, let's be real. I mean, it's awful, and he shouldn't have done it, and no question about it, he should be out. But you're telling me there's not 8 million of these emails swirling around the NFL?
Other people. Yep.
Absolutely other people. So,
and
if you're gonna force this guy to resign or force him out, which he should, absolutely, the NFL, they won't, but they should do an investigation, and they should get everybody out that's talking like this.
The whole league will be gone.
Well, that's the point. That's the point, right?
You're making my point.
Right.
Jerry Jones won't be able to own the team anymore.
They're gonna find like his letters from 1950. Like,
I just think it's so hypocritical. You watch every sports talk show and all these former players, like, come on, you weren't using this type of language on the field. Now, maybe you were smart enough not to put it into writing, but you were definitely using this type of language on the field. So don't be holier than thou about it. I mean, I think what he said is horrible. Don't get me wrong, but I just think people acting like, oh, I've never heard this kind of language before, he's got to go, is a little bit absurd.
On the way home, they were talking on the radio about Jerry Jones has a bus, the Jerry bus. And it's
Jesus, that sounds gross.
There's a stripper pole in it.
Oh,
yeah. Jeez. So I can only imagine the stuff in his closet.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. I have a few not surprising takes.
I got a question. Tim, did you read that about Schneider, or is that a speculation?
Just common knowledge.
Yeah, no, I don't. They said that a vast majority of the emails were going back and forth between he and Snyder.
Oh, okay.
I think there's already a feeling that Snyder is disconnected, that he was, hesitant to change the name away from the Redskins. And yeah, it feels like it's the next logical step, because now they're talking about how they want an investigation into all the emails that, percolated up all this information. So if they're going to start looking like, okay, next worst offender, right, there may be more after that, but I think Snyder has got like 2 weeks. I don't know if he gets to Halloween. So that's just my guess. That's all.
Yeah. First off, when I saw the original stuff, if you were to tell me someone in the NFL were to get exposed for that, Gruden would have definitely made my top 5 of expected. The other thing is, like, obviously it's pretty apparent that someone had been holding on to this and we're waiting for the right time to, like, I don't think someone stumbled upon this. They were probably holding on to this, waiting out. And I'm interested just to kind of know what the other side of the, conversation in those emails and stuff were, and just where it came from and all that.
Go ahead.
Khalil Mack.
Lastly,
go ahead. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Just the absolute stoogery by ESPN and all that stuff. Like the Chiefs-Bills game, when that got the delay like an hour or so.
Yeah.
Like halfway through the broadcast, they were just talking about how, like, oh, Gruden, I've known Gruden for 10 years. He would never, he's not racist. It taken out, like, they were defending him just because Gruden's like, their boy on there. And this was before all the other stuff came out. It was just like so stupid.
Well, that's ESPN now. ESPN's, I mean, they're so hypocritical. ESPN, it's not even funny. I mean, one of their people goes down there, they do not hold their feet to the fire in any way. It's actually unbelievable.
Although, and to your point, Adam, because he's no longer there. If you watch Countdown on Sunday, and we typically hop back and forth between that and NFL Network, and I had it on because when I put it on, they were talking about it. So it's Teddy Beercan, formerly of the Patriots, Matty Hasselbeck, and then you've got coach from the Bills. Why am I struggling with his name right now? And
Rex Ryan.
Thank you. And then Randy, and then the girl running the desk, I forget what her name is. And they threw it to Randy, and he started talking, and he got emotional.
Yeah.
Like pushed to tears. He's like, this is the league. This is the game that when my civil rights were being messed with as a kid, it was my safe space. It's given me everything I have.
Wow.
And he's like, and the fact that we're having this conversation and we're moving backwards right now. And he looked into the camera, tissue in his hands. passing tears, very emotional, quivery voice. And he's like, NFL, the clock is ticking.
No kidding.
Yeah. Like, so they called
Good
for his
for
head
him.
on, they called for his head on that show. And that was really moving to watch.
Yeah.
And like, but I also agree with like what Little Shoes said. I think in this day and age, you have to be smarter about like in the booth, we get some time to kill because of a thunder delay. I'm going to defend my boy Gruden without the information. And I'm saying this with my mouth that actually got me fired from broadcasting. Right. So like, you have to think about, okay, I've got a family at home and I've got a career that I love before I say something.
Right.
But speaking to emotion, and if you really love Gruden and you've never been around that, if he's felt that way, but never verbalized it, but he's typed it a million times to Daniel Snyder and some other good friends, then you're not any of the wiser. And I appreciate that somebody tried to defend him, but now it's gonna be like, well, you defended him. Like, this is where it gets ridiculous. And at some point, everything's gonna get canceled. We could go down the Chappelle foxhole. We won't though. But if you know what that story is, watch his specials and read some of the articles. And he's like, I'm not gonna like. This is Netflix is like, no, we're getting ratings. We're gonna leave him on. People are zooming the show and the whole 9 yards. So I don't know that the cancel culture. I understand that some people need to be, the sunshine is the greatest disinfectant, and some of this stuff has to be exposed. And if we canceled everybody who's fucked up once in their life,
everyone would be.
Yeah, I think we can just shut it all down.
Yeah, I'm with you actually, and I not to go down the Chappelle Show road, but I watched the special and he's telling jokes. Let's be real. He's telling jokes. And if everybody that tells jokes gets held their feet to the fire, it's going to be a problem. Nobody will ever laugh ever again in their entire life.
Right. And
everyone will have to do dad jokes.
That's right. Which I'm really good at if anybody wants to hear some, but I'll save you for it. But with the other thing with the Gruden thing though, is I do want to talk about this because first of all, number one, don't ever put anything in writing, right? If you're going to say something stupid, say it to your friend on the phone. Don't say it in writing, number one. But number two, shouldn't emails and things like that, I know he's a public figure, but shouldn't emails be private unless I'm not saying
not if it's Gruden at Raiders.com.
Right. True. You're right. At Raiders.com. That's true. And I don't know. Is that what the domain came? Is that
well, and that's
from an NFL domain
where the confusion lies.
Yeah.
I think he might have been sitting on an NFL or an ESPN based server.
Okay.
An address dedicated to a company entity. And maybe he was sending it. I'm going to use this because I've been waiting all day to do it. Daniel.Snyder@prodigy.net. And he's like, okay. Oh, this is fine. We're using our personal emails. No, stupid. Yeah. You're not using your personal email.
Right. He is. But
and all of this can get scraped. Right. So I think that's where some of it lies.
All right. That's fair. Yeah.
Beyond that, it clearly wasn't just one email.
Right.
He's got a history of misogyny and racism and homophobism in written word to multiple people across over a decade. And at some point, somebody's like, oh, I thought the last one was a joke. This is uncomfortable, but I'll write back.
Yeah.
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 Sorry, I missed you. I went out to get lunch.
Right.
With my black friends. Right. Think we're going to get chicken and watermelon. I like it too. And I'm white. Have a good day, John. Honestly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, they're just like, wow, I thought he was joking, but he seems to be like this a lot. And,
right.
But he drilled down. He talked about the kid that got drafted, that first gay player that was outwardly drafted. Now there's the kid that came up for the Rams last year.
Right.
So he's probably been angry. He's probably used a derogatory term towards race. He probably outwardly feels a certain way about maybe a homosexual lifestyle. And he's clearly probably grabbed somebody's ass in the copy room and then told a friend about it.
Right.
Hey, Daniel, that girl I told you was really hot. I grabbed her ass while I was making copies. Wasn't even making copies. Oh, yeah. I mean,
it is great that his last game was against the Bears where Khalil Mack went off and their quarterback got sacked like 8 times. So that was very nice to see.
Yeah. Well, there's somebody who, like you were saying, who was holding on to these emails. There's a list. I don't think Antonio Brown's a fan. I don't think Khalil Mack's a fan.
I think it was the Raiders ownership, and they're like, wait, we signed him for 10 years. We need to get out of this.
Dude, I don't think you're making that up. I mean,
yeah, right.
10 years, $100 million on an unproven talent.
Right.
He's been in the
don't
booth.
know what they were smoking doing that.
Like, he knows the game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
he won a Super Bowl when he was with
so does Kendrick Perkins, but when we didn't elect him head coach of the Celtics. So
right.
It doesn't always translate.
Yeah.
And I think maybe the ownership really likes Carr because he's not in love with Carr. Everybody sort of knows that.
It's kind of crazy, like a lot of the stuff that we were calling Antonio Brown crazy about for saying and thinking. It's like the last month, it's been a lot of stuff he said was proven right. Like everything he said about Juju, he was right. Stuff he said about Ben was right. Just the Raiders organization in general. He's still a crazy person. I just think it's funny that all the big things are all Ben's washed, Juju isn't that good, Gruden's a psychopath, that whole,
Speaking of crazy, let's turn to Kyrie Irving.
I thought we were going back to baseball. I was so excited.
Back to baseball.
I love that we're hitting all the sports, but it's like all social issues.
Yeah.
And we didn't get to talk about Kyrie and his lack of inoculation.
What's our politics show, Tim? You had a name for it. I forget. Red, white, and something. Red,
what
white.
was that?
I don't know. You said we were going to have a politics show. Red, white, and something. You and me.
Oh, red, white, and screw. I don't know.
Screw. Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Kyrie,
Yeah.
go ahead. Kyrie.
Man, he
First of all, thank God he wasn't on the Celtics anymore.
No, he didn't. I mean, they can't even get rid of him. They're trying to trade him, but he refuses to go to another team. They actually want to trade him for Ben Simmons. That's how much they hate him.
Wow.
Can I defend Kyrie?
Oh, really? All right. Let's
I have
hear
like
this. Grab your popcorn. Let's go. What's this?
I'll let Tim go first. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim.
No, stay with me on this. I'm
All right,
not necessarily a defense of Kyrie, but let me throw this out. This is not an NBA across the board thing. This is a state of New York thing.
Right? Well,
right. But if you go to work,
so a player that feels the same way he feels in another city that isn't holding it as a city ordinance or a city mandate or a statewide mandate can do the same thing, feel the same way, put their teammates and their organization at the same risk, and they're not being frowned upon. They're not being admonished today because they happen to be in a different zip code.
Yeah, but you could, okay, so you're in real estate, right? So New Hampshire all of a sudden puts in a vaccine mandate for people in real estate. Everybody in real estate has to have a vaccine, and you say, I don't want it. Okay, well, your company has the right to say, sit down and go away because you're fired because we have to be in line with the vaccine mandate.
Yep.
Are you going to argue the fact that somebody in Texas doesn't have to get a vaccine that's in the real estate business? That doesn't seem, I mean, it's a different state. It's different rules. I personally think we should have a federal mandate or the NBA should have a full on mandate at the minimum. But you start to argue that, then you could say, well, okay, well, in different states, they have different rules for players and going into the crowd, for instance, right? Somebody's going to get a misdemeanor for going in and punching a guy in the crowd. Another guy's going to go to jail for 10 years. Does it make it okay that he went into the crowd in Texas versus New York? No. I think I personally.
But that's currently the way it is because the states are all self-governing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But the NBA as a whole would handle the situation. You would think you would think they would handle that situation the same in a situation where somebody gets into an altercation in the stands, whether you're in Boston or you're in, a Golden State's arena.
Sure.
So I mean, I hear what you're saying because it does seem unfair, but it is unfair. But so what? That's the rules.
And he's also an adult and he signed a contract and he agreed to work in the state. I
100%.
completely appreciate that. Is he going to be allowed? Is he going to be allowed to play when they're on the road?
No.
Well, that's the ownership's.
Well, that's what they said. They said he can't be on the team unless he can be a full participant.
Yeah.
So if he can't practice and can't play home games, he's not doing it at all.
So is he shooting his way out of town?
Yeah, 100%.
We'll find out when Boston goes to the Knicks and to the Brooklyn Nets.
Yep.
Those players aren't going to be able to play again in New York because of the same reasons.
Now,
which player? Who's not vaccinated on the Celtics?
I don't know. We'll find out.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, I think if you're the Nets, I think the Nets did the exact right thing because at first they were talking about, we're going to let him play in arenas that he's allowed to play in. Hell no. If I was on your team and my team allowed somebody to do that, I would quit immediately because that's not fair to the other guys who are busting their ass 82 games a year.
You figure 50% of your games are home.
That's right, are at home.
Yeah.
That's right. And
if you look at the numbers across the board throughout the country and break it down by nationality or racial demographic, the overwhelming amount of people that are unvaccinated are Black and brown citizens.
Right.
And it's not due to access. Historically, it's not due to access in the last 20 months. It's because there is a lack of trust.
Right.
So like, this is where this becomes bigger than Kyrie. Sorry, Kyrie. It's bigger than Kyrie. It's a larger story. And I think the NBA, as they start to investigate and see who is and who isn't, because the NFL is going on right now. There hasn't been any issue with any games getting blown up yet, which is sort of surprising.
Yeah.
So we'll see, because we know Cole Beasley and a whole bunch of other people aren't going to do it. And I support their right not to. And I also understand that they're going to be screwed if they pop and they shut down a whole team and get 53 guys and trainers and support staff not paid.
We didn't have an offensive line because of it, between regular injuries and COVID.
Yep.
Right. There's one thing I wanted to first, just I will say Kyrie's getting a little screwed, but also screw Kyrie. I hate him and I hope he retires. Yes. But I just wanted to read something. No, I genuinely do. I don't care.
You prepared a statement here, little?
Not a statement. I would like to read a statement.
I just hope he keeps making sneakers, though.
Regarding, he does have some good sneakers.
Yes.
Still, Kyrie right here. Anyways, I just want to share this because it kind of takes any point that Kyrie has, just having any leverage of anything gone. Irving, who serves as a vice president on the executive committee of the Players Union, recently started following and liking Instagram posts from a conspiracy theorist who claims that secret societies are implanting vaccines in a plot to connect Black people to a master computer for a plan of Satan. This Moderna microchip misinformation campaign has spread across multiple NBA locker rooms and group chats, according to several of the dozen-plus current players, Hall of Famers, and league executives that are part of the association.
I love it. He's a flat earther. Don't forget, he's a flat earther.
Happening?
And if you recall, if we rewind like 2 months ago when we were talking about the mandate for the NFL, I legit said, like, do you think people like Kyrie Irving are going to go along with this? And here we are.
Oh my God, that's disgusting. I hope he goes away. I just hope he goes away. I can't take it anymore.
Is everyone on the Connecticut Sun vaccinated?
I'm not sure. I don't really. I honestly, I hadn't thought about it.
Okay.
I hadn't thought about it, but I don't really care. I just want Kyrie Irving to go away.
Before we wrap up,
so sick.
Can you see Adam going into a WNBA locker room? Ladies, I'm here with my little prick.
Oh, come on. All right. Come on. That's awful. Come on.
Before we wrap up, I know.
Remarkably true and awful. Yes.
Yeah.
Close to that time. I'd like to. So the NHL
started
last night, and the Boston Bruins open up Saturday night against Dallas. There will be their first game.
Yeah. So I don't know why I do, because I'm a maniac. I had the 16th and the 20th stuck in my head for dates. Was that a home start for us on the 16th?
When's the 16th?
Where are we tonight? You're talking about tonight.
No, the 16th is Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday. I said NHL opened up last night. They open up Saturday.
Oh, I thought you had said tonight. And I'm like, I didn't realize that was the case. Yeah.
Saturday. Do we have any?
Are you getting a Kraken shirt? I just need to know.
I will own one.
Oh my God.
I will own one before the end of the.
They're cool.
I'm
willing.
willing to go 10 minutes long if we can talk about what's behind Rubbish Shoes right now and the shirts that he has purchased in the last week.
Do you like the
Michael
Myers and Jason Voorhees?
That's brand new.
Pull up the Jason. No, the Jason's pretty old. Bring up the Jason.
Oh, he's got Halloween Funko out.
Oh, he's got this killer.
Holy mother of God!
Halloween Funko. What is happening?
That's your Voorhees. Okay.
Will you be sleeping out to be first in line for Halloween Kills when it's in theaters?
No, not first, but I will see it in the.
I expect it to be bad, but I'm gonna go see it.
You expect maybe because you've seen the trailer, you expect it to be bad?
No, so
the trailer looks awful.
The last one that came out with Jamie Lee Curtis in it is this. So this is like a part 2 of that one. It was very good. I watched it. I've watched all of them. So
just as a bit of a, it's hard to take. You got to take his movie opinions with a grain of salt sometimes because
I take it with a barrel of salt, Peter.
I take everything that he says. With
movies that he
salt.
thinks are masterpieces
shit.
might not always be masterpieces. But I watched the Rob Zombie Halloween with him finally.
For the record, I've seen 0 of the Halloween movies.
Original Halloween is
not a
classic,
one.
amazing. It's corny now, but
I've
it's
heard
like
the
my
songs.
favorite movie.
I haven't seen the movies.
It's just
song,
we're not going to
period.
turn this into a horror movie podcast, but
Thank God.
great, check it out.
Yeah.
Check it out. It's great. I do love that one.
We already have to
all
watch
the
Bruins.
brutality. Yeah.
All the brutality.
Yeah, I'm way off on being caught up to every iteration of Halloween, but certainly watched a handful of them. But
how many have there been?
Halloween
Like 700?
Pops in my
Probably
office.
like 10 or something.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I was appreciative that you decorated for the occasion, though, Rubber Shoes. So I just wanted to point that out before we finished.
So back to the Bruins. They're gonna have a tough go at it if their goalies don't play up to Rask level. Because I mean, Rask.
Who's backing Swayman? Who backs Swayman? While
No. It's Ullmark is starting Saturday.
Ullmark's going to start.
Yep. That's what I just read before we came on. I wanted to double check.
Swayman.
Pretty much they're thinking it's going to be almost a 50-50 between the two.
Well, until somebody heats up, maybe.
Yeah,
right?
unless one of them really sucks and the other one is decent. So but
Unless one of them sucks and the other one sucks less.
Yeah,
because somebody heats up. No.
Inevitably.
Yeah.
If one's really good and one's good, they're still gonna rest the guy. But if
Sure.
one guy is just totally awful and then they use it as a true backup where when they have back-to-backs or something like that.
Yep. What's happening?
My wife just came in the slider.
Oh, all right.
Dressed like
Dude, how do
Michael
we-
Myers.
We almost had our first Mama Shoes appearance.
It'd be so good if Mother Shoes would jump on.
Mother
That would be
Shoes,
great.
yes.
Can we talk about the fact that before we wrap, and thank you for updating on the goalie.
How do we escape the Urban Meyer stuff?
We didn't. We can talk about that next week. I think we made fun of enough coaches for this week.
Yeah.
Can we touch on fantasy football real quick? And just the
sure.
fact that Dugan is a fantasy football savant. Is he 5-0? I believe
He's still undefeated.
I think it must be all the tacos and margaritas he's eating. I don't know.
he is 5-0. Janina lost to him this week.
I'm not doing good.
I almost came back, Tim. I almost came back.
You were hyper
I can
close
check-
to
I
coming
can check
back.
it right
Yeah,
now.
hyper
Oh,
close
let's
to coming
go.
back. And I don't know what the matchups are this week. Do you have the matchups
am
for
I?
this week?
I'm against Hilton Garden Inn. Adam.
Yes.
That's, I'm 2-3. What's your record?
I am also 2-3.
All right, it'll be an
Oh,
interesting
that's
one.
Brady gave me
I'm-
a lot of points last week.
I'm
hoping he
projected to
puts up a
win
bunch this week, too.
54%.
So,
Oh, my whole team is questionable.
Rubber Shoes is playing Mother Shoes.
Oh,
I
I
like
got
Oh,
rubber shoes and mother shoes this week.
Yep.
I have
Yes, the
Dugan this
battle.
week.
knock him off, Timmy.
Gotta
Bubba
do
Booey is playing Bella Check Yourself. So Mama
That's-
Duquette.
That's Mother Duquette versus
And,
yep.
Cricky Mate plays Nita
Crikey,
Brewski.
crikey, cricky,
Creaky?
crikey.
I'm not
Cricky?
Australian. I don't know.
No,
You've
he's
never
not
heard
from
anybody say
Lowell.
crikey?
Crikey, mate.
Yeah, thank you.
Cricky.
Steve
Sorry,
Irwin.
I
Down
haven't
by the
been-
crick.
I haven't been to the Outback lately. Sorry.
Might I just say,
I'm
I
sure
have,
Janina will take no offense to that whatsoever.
Yeah,
I
because
have
the blue
Jarvis
onion's
Landry.
$19 and his next Funko Pop is $19.04. It's like a showcase showdown.
I
Such
have
a
Jarvis
jackass.
Landry on IR, Tua on IR, Saquon probably about to go there. Like my team is just dropping like flies.
Excellent.
Crikey.
Crikey.
Crikey,
Gotta
mate.
put the accent
Oh,
on it.
you have to say the accent. Oh, okay.
Crikey
Come
mate
on, come
is playing Scotty Dukes, Nita Brewski. Yep.
Cool. Okay.
Interesting. All
Wow.
right.
I'm going to be 3-3 by the end of the weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not going to be great. It's not going to be great. We appreciate you watching. We will be back most likely Wednesday because
Probably.
for that sweep. I'd love to see.
I'll
that
probably
sweep,
have work. I don't
even
know.
though I'm betting on 7. So maybe Wednesday, maybe Thursday, we'll be in the midst of the heat of the ALCS with the Red Sox. You can always find us online at atbshow.com for all the YouTube content where this resides. And if you're checking out Rubber Shoes for the Rubber Shoes wrap up and rant, that is on our Insta page. And in there, you've got our link tree, which is ATB Show, for all of our delicious webbiness that is online. Adam,
Webbiness. I like it.
webbiness. It's the webbiness.
Yes.
The Intertubes. So for Adam and Little Shoes and Rubber Shoes, we will see you next week. Thanks for hanging out, and we'll see you all very, very soon. Have a great week. Take care.